Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of extraordinary individuals to uncover the essence of their character and the timeless lessons they impart. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the life of Federico Fellini, the renowned Italian film director, screenwriter, and former cartoonist, whose cinematic masterpieces have captivated audiences worldwide with their poetic realism, imaginative storytelling, and profound exploration of the human condition. His family, though not affluent, provided a nurturing environment that fostered his creativity and curiosity. Fellini's father, Urbano, was a traveling salesman who peddled groceries and other goods to towns along the Adriatic coast, while his mother, Ida Barbiani, managed the household and cared for their three children, Federico, Riccardo, and Maria Maddalena. The young Federico spent his childhood surrounded by the rolling hills, golden beaches, and vibrant markets of Rimini, which would later influence the dreamlike quality of his films. Fellini's early education took place at the Catholic boarding school in Fano, where he developed a passion for drawing and storytelling. His teachers, recognizing his artistic talent, encouraged him to hone his skills, and he spent hours sketching and creating caricatures of his classmates. However, it was during his teenage years that he discovered his true calling, creating comic strips and caricatures for the local newspaper, Il Domenica del Corriere. This formative experience not only honed his artistic skills, but also instilled in him a keen observer's eye for human behavior and a deep understanding of the complexities of the human psyche. As Fellini navigated his late adolescence, he became increasingly drawn to the world of theater and performance. He began attending puppet shows and circuses, which sparked his imagination and laid the groundwork for his future innovations in filmmaking. The historical context of Italy during this period, marked by the rise of fascism and the tumultuous years leading up to World War II, also played a significant role in shaping Fellini's character and future path. The fascist regime's emphasis on propaganda and spectacle would later influence Fellini's use of vivid imagery and symbolism in his films. One notable event that shaped Fellini's early life was his family's relocation to Rome in 1939, when he was just 19 years old. This move exposed him to the city's vibrant cultural scene, where he encountered the works of Italian neo-realist filmmakers like Vittorio De Sica and Roberto Rossellini. Fellini's fascination with film grew, and he began to see it as a medium for storytelling and social commentary. Fellini's early life was also marked by his relationships with family members and mentors who encouraged his creative pursuits. His mother, Ida, was a strong influence on his early life, fostering his imagination and encouraging him to explore his artistic talents. His brother, Riccardo, shared his passion for drawing and storytelling, and the two brothers would often spend hours creating their own comic strips and stories. The seeds of his future success as a filmmaker were sown in these formative years, where he developed a keen eye for observation, a passion for storytelling, and a deep understanding of the human condition. A specific example that illustrates Fellini's early fascination with film is his experience watching the 1937 Italian film Scipio Africanus, which was directed by Carmine Gallone. This epic historical drama made a lasting impression on Fellini, who was captivated by its grandeur and spectacle. This early exposure to film would later influence his own use of vivid imagery and symbolism in his films. His experiences, relationships, and influences have shaped him into a unique individual with a passion for storytelling and a keen eye for observation. As Fellini entered adulthood, his fascination with film only deepened. He began working as a screenwriter for Italian films, collaborating with prominent directors such as Roberto Rossellini on projects like Paisa, 1946, and L'Amour, 1948. These experiences not only honed his writing skills, but also exposed him to the technical aspects of filmmaking, laying the groundwork for his future directorial endeavors. Fellini's breakthrough as a director came with La Strada, 1954, a poignant tale of love and loss that follows a traveling circus performer, Gelsomina, played by Giulietta Massina. This film marked the beginning of Fellini's exploration into the human condition, showcasing his unique ability to weave together elements of drama, comedy, and social commentary. La Strada, garnered international acclaim, winning the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film in 1957. The success of La Strada was followed by another critical triumph, Nights of Cabiria, 1957, also starring Giulietta Messina as a prostitute searching for love and redemption. This film cemented Fellini's reputation as a masterful storyteller, capable of crafting complex characters and narratives that resonated with audiences worldwide. One of the defining characteristics of Fellini's filmmaking style was his use of vivid imagery and symbolism, which became more pronounced in his later works. For example, in La Dolce Vita, 1960, he employed a series of surreal and dreamlike sequences to explore themes of morality, faith, and the human condition. This film marked a significant turning point in Fellini's career, as it showcased his ability to balance artistic expression with commercial appeal. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Fellini continued to push the boundaries of filmmaking, experimenting with new techniques and themes. His films, such as 81.2, 1963, and Amarcord, 1973, became synonymous with a unique brand of poetic realism, which blended elements of fantasy, drama, and social commentary. Fellini's influence extended beyond the film world, as his works inspired countless artists, writers, and musicians. His ability to capture the essence of Italian culture and translate it into a universal language resonated with audiences from diverse backgrounds. In addition to his artistic achievements, Fellini was also known for his collaborations with other prominent artists and intellectuals of his time. He worked closely with composers like Nino Rota, who created memorable soundtracks for many of his films. Fellini's relationships with actors, such as Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg, were also instrumental in shaping the characters and narratives that have become iconic in cinema history. The post-war Italian neo-realist movement, with its emphasis on social realism and cinematic experimentation, provided a fertile ground for Fellini to explore new ideas and techniques. His films continue to inspire new generations of artists and audiences alike, offering a unique window into the human condition and the complexities of our shared experiences. We examined his early directorial endeavors, including La Strada and Nights of Cabiria, which showcased his unique ability to craft complex characters and narratives that resonated with audiences worldwide. The 1960s and 1970s were a period of great creative experimentation for Fellini, during which he pushed the boundaries of cinematic storytelling with films like 812 and Amarcord. One of the most significant aspects of Fellini's later work was his increasing focus on autobiographical themes. In 8112, he drew heavily from his own experiences as a filmmaker, crafting a narrative that blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. The film follows a director, Guido Anselmi, played by Marcello Mastroianni, who is struggling to come to terms with his own creative identity. This deeply personal work not only showcased Fellini's innovative storytelling, but also offered a glimpse into his own inner world. Fellini's use of vivid imagery and symbolism became even more pronounced in his later works. In Amarcord, he employed a series of dreamlike sequences to explore themes of nostalgia, memory, and the human condition. The film is a poignant portrayal of Fellini's childhood in Rimini, capturing the essence of small-town Italian life during the fascist era. Through this work, Fellini demonstrated his ability to balance artistic expression with commercial appeal, creating a film that was both deeply personal and universally relatable. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Fellini continued to experiment with new techniques and themes. His films, such as Fellini's Casanova, 1976, and City of Women, 1980, showcased his unique brand of poetic realism, blending elements of fantasy, drama, and social commentary. These works not only solidified Fellini's reputation as a master filmmaker, but also inspired a new generation of artists and audiences. In addition to his artistic achievements, Fellini's later years were marked by a series of collaborations with other prominent artists and intellectuals. He worked closely with composers like Nino Rota, who created memorable soundtracks for many of his films. Fellini's relationships with actors, such as Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg, were also instrumental in shaping the characters and narratives that have become iconic in cinema history. The social and political upheavals of the 1960s and 1970s had a profound impact on Fellini's filmmaking as he sought to capture the essence of a rapidly changing world. Despite the many accolades and awards that Fellini received throughout his career, he was not immune to criticism and controversy. Some of his later works, such as Fellini's Casanova, were met with mixed reviews from critics who felt that they lacked the coherence and focus of his earlier films. However, these criticisms did not deter Fellini, who continued to push the boundaries of cinematic storytelling until his death in 1993. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.